What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's technique video, we are doing the third part of the series that we've been working on. So today is the submission part of it, and I think this submission is probably your favorite submission or one of your favorite submissions?
I love arm triangles.
Yeah, today we are doing the arm triangle. So as always, I will show it first from two different angles, and then I will show it again from those angles as I explain the movement. All right, so we just finished the knee cut pass and now I'm in side control. So I'm chest to chest and I have my gable grip. What I wanna do first is start working my way into mount. So I'm going to slide my knee across his belly. Notice how I'm not leaving a ton of space and just swinging my leg over, because that could potentially lead to Todd trapping my leg. So when I'm in side control and I wanna go to mount, I'm staying super tight and I'm just sliding my knee right across his belly. When I get to mount, I end up in the exact position that I want to be in. I end up with head control and my arm underneath his armpit. So I still have my gable grip, chest to chest, my head is down. What I want to start doing first now is isolating this arm. So I'm going to open up my elbow so that he can't pull his arm back in towards him. The next thing that I want to do, open my gable grip. The hand that's underneath his neck, I'm gonna grab behind his shoulder, and I kind of use my forearm that's underneath his tricep to lift his arm, and I grab the back of his shoulder. Now here, I start walking my arm towards his head to start isolating his arm even more. I bring my head to the outside, behind his tricep, and I push it across. I re-gable, and I wanna start to sink my shoulder underneath his neck. So I reposition my body, I bring myself down, and I drive my shoulder into his neck. I start to bring my head down towards his shoulder and in towards his head. So I bring my head towards his shoulder, in towards his head, widen my elbow. I windshield wiper my shin across his belly, demount, drive my hips to the floor, and I get the tap. Okay, so now from this angle, I just finished the knee cut pass. I get to side control. I have my gable grip. When I'm ready to go to mount, I slide my knee right across his belly, and I end up right in the position that I want to be in with head control and starting already to isolate his arm. I keep my gable grip and I widen my elbow. This is going to make him have a little bit of a harder time pulling his arm back in towards his body, because that's what he wants to do. He wants to keep his elbow nice and tight. I'm trying to bring his elbow away from his body. So I widen, I open, lift, and I grab the back of his shoulder. This hand is gonna start walking in towards his head to start bringing his arm up. I bring my head to the outside behind his tricep, and I push it across. Now from here I re-gable, and now I want to bring my shoulder down to get it below his neck. My head is going to start driving down towards his shoulder and in towards his head at the same time. I widen my elbow to create a better base for when I get out of mount. Slide my shin across his belly. I start to sink my hips. Now here, I'm on my toes and my knees aren't touching the floor. My hips are driving down. My shoulder is pushing into his neck. My head is driving into his head, and it's constant pressure. So I'm not doing like a ton of squeezing or doing a bicep curl. It's just constant inwards pressure going into his neck. All right, so now let's just spend the next minute talking about the details of finishing the arm triangle, because honestly, this has been a submission that's been hard for me to finish, I think, all the time. I think especially when you first learn it, it's really common for a lot of people to just, like I said, want to almost like bicep curl or just squeeze so hard, and you use so much energy just trying to squeeze the person to death, and that's not exactly what we're doing. So the really important details, so if I already have Todd's arm across his body, what's gonna finish the choke is this arm coming across his neck, my arm across his neck, and my shoulder, okay? So I have his arm across his neck, I still have my gable. What I wanna do first is right now, I'm too high, so he's not feeling any pressure. So I first have to sink my shoulder lower into his neck, okay? My head has to come down. I don't wanna keep my head lifted up because that's not giving any pressure either. So I'm bringing my head down towards his shoulder, and I'm constantly also pushing it in towards his head. Now he's feeling some pressure. When I'm ready to come off of mount, I bring my elbow wide just so I have a bit of a better base. Slide my shin over, widen this leg first, bring the other leg off. I stay on my toes so that I give him plenty of pressure versus bringing my knees to the floor. I drive my hips down, I drive my head in, drive my shoulder. So like I said earlier, it's a constant, steady pressure, and they should already be feeling the choke ideally before you even get at a mount. So now let's put the whole sequence together that we have so far. Alright guys, let me know what you think of this video. Let me know what you think of this technique, and if you like this style of video where I have a couple of weeks of movements that all sort of chain together. Don't forget that next week is the last week in this series where we will be going over what we can do if our partner defends a submission, what is our next step in the process. As always, if you found this video helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you are not subscribed to my channel, subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to hit that bell notification button to never miss a video that I post. And until the next video, I will see you guys next time.